Alright guys, welcome back to Max Mocs. Today we are building the last part of Metropolis. This is Luthorcorp Tower. I know it says LexCorp right here, but this is a different build than the one I built earlier this year. Obviously, you can see the huge QUC basically trench right down the middle. Of course, it's like black and purple, trying to represent that crazy scene in the movie. This is built completely different as well. I think it's even stronger, honestly. Yeah, and it's a little bit thinner, but it's tall as well. So I'm pretty excited to show this to you guys today. Obviously, we have to have two different lobbies because there's two separate buildings connected by a land bridge. Pretty sweet here, but so we're gonna have a receptionist, of course. But yeah, man, this building is insane. Just trying to find reference photos is a little bit hard. There's only a few. Obviously in the movie they do show it a little bit more, but there's certain things inside that I tried to kind of amplify, stuff that's said in the movie, certain things, so you will see those crazy Easter eggs. But yeah, very exciting to finally have this complete here. Metropolis. It's only at 4 Mocs, but that's okay. I kind of want to move on to some new stuff. Maybe the Baxter building, of course, as you guys have been patiently waiting. I know my channel, it's taking a long time to get to some of these builds, but yeah, thank you guys for sticking around. But yeah, both of these lobbies are very generic, as you can see with the LexCorp sign above. I know it doesn't say Luthorcorp, but I really like that logo, so we're going to include it there. And also you have the yellow trash can in the back, which is very obviously iconic to the previous modulars. But yeah, that's going to bring us to our sponsor of this video, Flexispot. All right, let's talk about this Flexispot E6 Max standing desk and why I've been loving it, especially if you're into creative hobbies like building Legos or podcasting like I am. First off, this desk is a beast when it comes to strength and durability. It's powered by dual motors that can lift up to 330 pounds without breaking a sweat. You can literally sit or jump on this desk. It's not going anywhere. Trust me, I tried it. Nothing tipping over, no wobbles, super solid. One thing I really appreciate is the adjustability. This desk adjusts to exactly where I need it, whether you're sitting or standing, sorting through Lego bricks, sitting down for a long podcast recording session. This desk adjusts to exactly where you need it, and it's smooth and fast and even quiet, so it's pretty quiet for your podcasts. If you're into displaying your Lego builds, this desk gives you a ton of space, and because it's so stable, even at max height, you don't have to worry about your Millennium Falcon crashing down mid-adjustment. But let's talk features. You've got some vibrant control buttons with memory presets, so switching between sitting and standing, it literally takes like one tap. Whether I'm working, building, filming, or even podcasting, it's super convenient to jump between tasks without adjusting everything manually. Even tested it by placing a cup full of Lego bricks on the edge, moving the desk like crazy. There's no spills, no shakes, so you don't have to worry about all your bricks just getting knocked all over the place. Maybe if you bump into the table. This thing is durable, smooth. It's not gonna, break everything. And I went with the bamboo top. It looks super clean. It has this natural grain that adds a touch of warmth to my setup. It's honestly elevating the entire vibe of this Lego room. And if you're wondering about longevity, Flexispot has a 10-year warranty on their desks, the motors, the frame. And so really, guys, that's some serious quality confidence in their brand. Bottom line, if you're into Lego, if you're into content creation like me, or maybe even you just need a nice, really sturdy desk, guys, the E6 Max is really 100% worth checking out. Make sure to click the link in my bio, support the channel, maybe buy this desk. There's other versions, of course, as well, if you need a smaller version or even a bigger version for Lego creations, whatever it may be, guys. Thank you so much to Flexispot. All right, guys, let's get into the next part of this build. We have the second floor here. As you can see, it has a lot of windows and the same elevator per floor. I kind of wanted to have consistency here. Every elevator is the same. Not every floor is the same, though, as you can see. So there's going to be different rooms throughout. Every room's going to be unique. This is going to be like a laboratory because we know from the movie, which this is a spoiler, guys, so spoiler warning for Superman, that they clone Superman. So we're going to have that scene represented here with a lot of cool details and little builds that are from the X Mansion, actually. So perfectly. We're going to have the clone clone version of Kal-El here with the Superman logo here and the long hair and red eyes as you see in the movie. And yeah, a little computer with a minifigure on the computer as well, kind of like they're scanning his body. And then a few doctors here that work for Luthorcorp here that are kind of doing the dirty work, and you see they have his DNA right there. So pretty insane. I love how this turned out, guys. Obviously, this is not in the movie, but you can assume this happened at some point in the building. So pretty insane. Let's move on to the next building here. This is going to be Luthor's office that we do see in the movie. There's some iconic scenes here where Superman busts through the door, obviously asking, where's the dog? Where's Crypto? He's got bookcases on either side and then a big, huge, like, moving TV of, like, green water. So it's really hard to try to figure out how to do that. So you can see I did that with the squiggly pieces in the lime green. So really like actually how that turned out. And he's gonna have his desk here with his like awards and different stuff on it, and his book, of course, the book that Luthor wrote on the front there. So pretty funny here. We're gonna have a bush, of course, as well, just to make this feel very corporate office-y. And then brown chairs as we do see in the movie. That's how his office looks. Here's Luthor here in a gray suit, because in the scene he does have a gray suit. And then he's got the world's best boss mug, which is hilarious. So yeah, just iconic. We need to have this in a Lego set. I feel like we're gonna get a Luthorcorp at some point. You kind of have to. I know we're gonna hopefully get a Daily Planet in the future, so I just really hope we can get some modulars, like just a ton of DC ones. That would be so awesome. Hopefully, if the DCU takes off and makes a lot of money, then maybe Lego would trust DC to make some Lego sets. But let's move on to the third floors of both buildings. That's what's so hard about this. There is so many rooms that I kind of had to fill up here and come up with ideas and make the ceilings very tall, as you can see. And so we are going to do one room having some Luthor armor, as you can see here. And there was some leaked toys that had Luthor in his own Luthor suit, but obviously that did not happen in the movie. But we're going to include it here, like maybe in the future. James Gunn did say don't rule out him wearing his own armor. Don't rule it out. It could happen still. Obviously, he did get arrested at the end of the movie, but I really hope that someday he does wear the Luthor armor. They're so scared to do that, to make him like Iron Man, I guess, but man, it would be so cool to see that finally in live action, where he takes matters into his own hands or something. We've seen it in the comics, we've seen it in the cartoons. I want to see it in live action. But yeah, you can see there's these huge takeaway windows in each floor. This was really fun to design, but man, I'm out of windows, guys. I'm completely out after this build. It's pretty funny. But yeah, this next room is going to be I was kind of stretching it here, honestly, but we are going to have like a lounge for the employees. And as we see in the movie, a lot of the Luthorcorp employees are wearing Hawaiian shirts as they're working in that interesting area with the teleporting machine. So we're gonna have a few employees in their Hawaiian shirts, just relaxing with their fancy drinks, and they're playing video games in the employee lounge. So pretty hilarious. Obviously, this doesn't happen in the movie, but I'm assuming some of these Hawaiian shirt employees make their way back to the Luthorcorp Tower. So yeah, pretty funny here to include that as well. The next floor is going to be very interesting because it's going to be putting everything at an angle, and also this leads up to the little land bridge that connects both of them. It's also a spaceship in the movie that they disconnect from the towers, because obviously Luthor is like destroying Metropolis. Pretty insane, very bold choice by James Gunn to be doing that with the crazy teleporting machine. So as you can see, a lot of it is at an angle here, but also these two floors are just going to be generic lobbies as well, because what's interesting is what's going to be in between, which is such a crazy thing. It just felt like a kid playing with toys when I was watching the movie. I was like, dang, that is exactly what a kid would do. The building falls apart, but there's obviously a spaceship in the middle of the towers. So pretty hilarious. And then obviously the other side is exactly the same, just a reflection. It's just the opposite version, obviously. So yeah, pretty fun to build this as well. What's crazy, guys, is I dropped this MOC 2 days ago, and it shattered into a million pieces. And so I had to rebuild this thing completely. It was so difficult to remember how I built it, but it's back. And yeah, so let's move on to the spaceship build. Obviously, this just rests in the middle. And you can see it's got some big jets on the back that are gonna propel it when that does happen in the movie, of course. And you obviously have to have the teleporting machine in the very back. That's very iconic to the movie. Luthor's just using it like crazy. Kind of reminds me of of Invincible, where they're like, how much does this cost? And they're like, millions every single time they use it. So kind of funny that, you know, he's just using up this QUC technology, teleporting all around the world. Pretty insane. And so, yeah, trying to base that off of the movie is very, very fun. Obviously, there's these desks as well that he has all the people there working, all the employees, where he's shouting out different commands. Pretty hilarious scenes, honestly. He's shouting like A1 and B7. It's just really funny scene where he's kind of just like, it's a toxic work environment. It's very interesting. But yeah, we're representing all these desks here, and there's some big TVs above as well that they're watching what's happening. So yeah, represented here in these different screens. Thought this turned out pretty fun, honestly. You know, this is going to be really cool to put into the building. And it's actually super easy to take on and off. Of course, we have to have Eve Tessmacher. She's kind of the, you know, the hero of the movie, honestly, with her selfies. Pretty hilarious here. You know, Luther is a terrible boyfriend. Jeez Louise. And here he is, obviously, with his awesome revolver here. He does kill some people in the movie. We also have Sidney Hamperson, who is an employee of Luthorcorp in the comics, played by a famous comedian who's friends with, you know, James Gunn. We also have Otis Berg as well. So yeah, we're going to include some other employees here that are just in generic jackets. These are the LexCorp jackets from the Batman vs. Superman movie. So yeah, we had to include them here, of course, and they're working on the computers as well. Just some iconic stuff happening in the scene. Superman does break through this glass, obviously, and confront Luthor, and then Crypto attacks Luthor. Pretty insane scene. He gets arrested here. We do have a takeaway ceiling as well, so it's very easily accessible, as you can see. So you can get in there, you can play with the minifigures, you can put Superman and Crypto in there, you can do whatever you got to do. So yeah, pretty sweet. Love how this turned out, guys. And let's see, you can see it's just 4 little pieces that this rests on, and it works perfectly, which is insane. It just slides right down in there. I think this is a better design than my previous version, and yeah, really like how it turned out. The one thing I didn't change, though, is that I did rebuild this Luthorcorp sign almost exactly the same. It's a little bit more sturdy this time around, but it is pretty much the exact same design on those letters because I really enjoyed how it looked, honestly. We also have the engineer here. She's got her spinning blades, of course, and I really like how she turned out with the Ultron torso and legs, and then a different face and hair piece as well. So yeah, she looks really sweet here. We've got Ultraman here and his armor as well. He's using a lot of different pieces. You know, Black Panther's face, he's using the armor from one of the Star Wars characters. And then also we have Superman here with Crypto, using that Crypto minifigure. Super iconic. I know it doesn't look like the Crypto of the movie, but I love this version, so we had to include it, you know, and it's accurate to the comics, so pretty sweet, guys. Obviously, the huge rift is happening here, and Mr. Terrific does help in the movie here with his T-spheres and his really cool technology, so we're going to include him. We're also going to include Metamorpho, who's escaped from the prison with Baby Joey. As you can see, we're utilizing that really cool little green minifigure guy. Also, we have to have the Raptors here. We're going to be using these Night Troopers from the Mandalorian Lego set. We're just changing out a few things, giving them yellow eyes and then green arms. I think this actually turned out well, that they look kind of like the Raptors of the movie. So yeah, really turned out cool, guys. We got 3 of those boys. Yeah, guys, I really like how this turned out. This looks really sweet. And man, at the end of the day, it's a pretty insane, you know, diorama of insane battles going on, because a lot of crazy stuff does happen in these scenes. Man, it's so fun to see all of this in Lego. I really wish we could have gotten some Lego sets, guys. Hopefully in the future, we will see. But yeah, let's jump in and let's look at each little building separately. I obviously could have made each floor a section of the QUC, but I kind of wanted to do that in a separate video, separate mock, honestly, like the monkeys tapping away at the computers, you know, Metamorpho in prison, all of Luther's girlfriends, and also Mr. Handsome on his creepy little cart. So that might be a separate video, guys. So maybe wait for that one. We will see that in the future. So I wanted to have some realistic floors that would be here on Luthorcorp. So yeah, really like how this turned out, guys. It is awesome. It's huge. It does stand pretty tall, obviously, so let's check it out in Metropolis. Let's have the garden here as we put this in here. This is where, obviously, the kaiju battle with the Justice Gang here and the T-Craft. Super iconic scene. Go check out that video. We also have the Hall of Justice, which is seen in the movie as well. Love how this turned out. This is coming to be a really awesome, huge city, honestly. And then, of course, the Daily Planet, which is rumored to be coming out next year, but this is my own version, my own take on it based on the movie. I really hope they do base it on the movie. I guess we will see, guys. But man, I love how this turned out, guys. Metropolis is done. I am going to do a final video breaking down all of it for you guys so you can see every single detail in one full video, you know, just maybe we'll add some more fun stuff like some streets and stuff and some cars, maybe to make this feel a little bit more full. But yeah, guys, super fun. At the end of the day, what a great time building this for you guys. We're probably going to switch it up and do some other crazy stuff here on the channel now, just that Superman is over. We're going to be doing some more Superman MOCs later this year. Make sure to like and subscribe, guys. Bye.